Gladius Prime was a bastion of humanity, newly colonized. A suitable base for our chapter to rebuild and recruit. We Space Marines raised our fortress here, grew strong again. But the Orc invasion brought a warp storm that cut off our Emperor's light. And the dread Necrons crawled from the earth beneath our feet. War was on all sides, yet we are the Emperor's chosen. We do not dread the dark, or quail at the relics of old. Terror is for those who oppose us. We know no fear.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Gladius, Warhammer 40K Relics of War. So, we're going to be playing as the Adeptus Astartes. I thought about resuming the game as the Necrons, but I've made a couple of grave errors and recorded a full episode of 40 minutes without actually pressing the record button. In all honesty, I did press the record button, but OBS sort of decided to not record that video for some reason, and, you know, I figured it's best to start off as someone fresh, someone new. So, in before the Adeptus Astartes. Here we go. We're going to drop down our city, and the question is, where do we put it? Well, thinking here is a good spot. Not a lot of room to build, though. Down here seems okay. Next to the Imperial Ruins seems okay as well. This is a good tile to have, I think. Mind you, this is an outpost we can secure, so we don't need to build it in proximity to that. Let's build one. Okay, let's do this. Let's move these units over there. And considering this is the top end of the map, let's move these units down here, and then we'll make our choice. So here, I think, is good. Tell you what, right there seems rather fitting. So, the Primarch's Rest has been built. Can we actually rename the city? Yes, we can. Ooh, what can we name it? Let's name it after let's name it as a sort of nod to one of my patrons. Let's name it Dwarf Fortress. And let's see, what's the first thing that we're going to build? Well, I'd like to acquire this outpost. We're going to do that next turn because I've scouted the area first. Let's see. Probably, what I like to do is I like to focus on one resource, and well, we have to start with this, right? Well, we could start with acquiring a tile as well. That's not the worst idea in the world. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's start by acquiring this tile over here. It only takes 2 turns to do, so. And by the way, the game is set on slow, so. I like to play most Civ-type games on fairly slow settings, and slow or very slow. So, let's begin with... Ooh, I don't know, like hero units or... accuracy of tactical marines. Should we start with an armory immediately? Let's start with an armory first. Armory first, and then we'll think about heroes later down the line. And here are our allies. They have built Vicus Phobos, their city, and have acquired their first outpost here. And they'll be fighting some Kroot Hounds. Actually got themselves 2 outposts right off the get-go. Right, well, let's pick ourselves a couple of outposts as well then. I figure it's only fair, right? Drought Valleys and the Cursed Wildern. There is a Necron tomb right here. Fortunately for us, there are no Necrons on the map. So that shouldn't be a problem and not something we should think about. But Necron tombs are the only place where Necrons can build cities. Whereas someone like the Imperial Guard can build them pretty much anywhere, and the Adeptus Astartes can only build one fortress. So here we go. Final foundation. Deploy Fortress of Redemption next to a special resource feature and secure the perimeter. Oh, we shall do that very well. There is a special resource feature over here. There's actually two of them. So this is like a perfect spot for a Fortress of Redemption. We just need to get enough influence to acquire it. Now, as far as this thing is concerned, we can begin by building an Apothecarian. Yes. An Apothecarian will allow us to construct more Adeptus Astartes and start securing more of our area of the map. Meanwhile, we have the Imperial Guard over here with their tiny little flashlights. Gonna try and push back the hounds that are in the general area and the premises. The beauty of having Space Marines is that you can send one unit across the map early on in the game and have it more or less be safe. Whereas even the Necrons and the Imperial Guard and the Orcs as well, they need to bunch up, right? You need like, in order to remove like this unit and this unit here, you need to send like 3 different units of Imperial Guard to push through. Mind you, the Imperial Guard are very versatile later on. They're good units. However, they have their limitations, whereas the Adeptus Astartes are quite potent at dealing with early threats. So let's position a fortress right here. It's not a fortress, it's actually it is, it's a fortress. We have 1 city and 2 fortresses. 2 fortressi, if you will. And that is the gameplay mechanic behind the Astartes. They can drop these fortresses pretty much ad nauseum, right? They cost 3 influence to maintain and 150 influence to drop down, and you can build 1 every 10 turns, but that's pretty much the only limit. However, the trade-off being you cannot build any cities. So let's try and remove some of these hounds from the area. They are in a forest, so hitting them will be a little bit more difficult. But, well, we are dealing with genetically modified super soldiers, so I doubt they'll... Yeah, they ran away. About what I expected. They did bring back friends, though, so there is that. We do have a fortress, however, and that fortress should be enough to... cause the tiniest little dent in their numbers, apparently. That's all that this fortress is going to do. Okay, fair enough. We are the Emperor's Fist. No, you're not. The fortress that these guys are. Fair enough. Tactical Space Marines, lovely, right? You're sort of the Emperor's... You're not even a stick. Like, pulling your stick can do damage. You're like the Emperor's balloon sword. His toy sword. No, that's what you are at this point in time. Though I'm pretty sure I can add stuff to the fortress later down the line. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem, isn't it? That is gonna be a problem. We've completed the armory, but these guys can kill these Astartes next turn. So, tell you what, let's pull back from here, bring this unit into the fray, and also start recruitment No, we can't start recruitment yet. We have 2 turns for that. Hit them, and I'll have you retreat. So we're temporarily giving up this vault in exchange for saving the marine unit. You can choose research. Chapter tactics that increase the accuracy of tactical space marines. I think so, right? I think this is what we need. Reduces heroes and generates influence and increases loyalty. We need this too. I'm gonna go with this first, because I'd like to get my hero up and running as soon as possible. Meanwhile, for some reason, these guys have decided to stay on the wires over here and die. But, of course, as soon as they retreat into friendly territory, they will get reinforced remarkably quickly, so... like, not to worry, eh? I'm looking at the report here. Fortress of Redemption under attack by hounds. Actually not a bad thing. Let the hounds attack. And this thing is as tough as nails, so... We're the Fists of Gilliman, yes you are. So this can actually be a very good thing. Now I have these guys pinned down over here and zeroed in a little bit. And there you go. I actually haven't taken the outpost yet, so... that is helpful. And we have 1 or 2 more turns until the building is complete over here. So these guys are going to pull back. Smart, smart. I like it. Now, the one thing I have to say is the AI is pretty damn good. I mean, they did leave a unit to die in the grass for like a couple of turns, but in situations like these, where they will retreat and... well, in this particular instance, the hounds will die to this grass. So this is like a very useful bit of territory here because it's a nightmare to attack through either which way. So it's good. It defends the city quite well. Generate 20 requisition per turn. We're now at 15. Well, that might take a while longer than you might think, because Adeptus Astartes take time. Oh, sorry, take requisitions as upkeep, so we might have to wait a bit. Now, let's see. Well, I suppose... I mean, what are we using energy for? Nothing really, right? At this point, buildings. Upkeep for buildings. So, I think it would be prudent to acquire ourselves a new tile first. No, not clear tile, sorry. Acquire ourselves a new tile first. And... so it's a toss-up, either this or this. And I'm thinking here. Right, this increases production and we can build an armory here. And with an armory we can start getting out armoured units, naturally. And with armoured units, there is a distinct possibility of success. But we're gonna we need more men in general, right? We need more presence in the area, if you will. So get working on that, and I will build a unit of Astartes, obviously, as soon as possible. Now, if you excuse me for a second, I'm gonna go and check the score because Nadal and Djokovic are playing tennis, and I really want to see what's going on. And by the way, this should tell you when the video has been recorded. But hey, I mean, they've been playing it for 2 days. I'm kind of invested at this point, so give me a second. I know that's a shame. Alright, this is gonna be a bit tough. 3 hound units. The reinforcements are still a ways away a little bit. Tell you what, I'll move you in so that you can then shoot at them, because apparently that's what you're gonna do. Shooting from here to here will do very little damage, so let's not focus on that. Instead, let's do this. Okay, choose research. But before that, the score. Just give me a second. Right. Well, congratulations to both players, especially the one that won. I'm trying to not spoil something that's already happened from your perspective. So yes, Djokovic won, and congratulations to him. It was a terrific game, one of the best ones I've seen in a long, long while. At any rate, let's go back into 40k. My apologies for the slight little diversion and distraction there. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we get Tactical Doctrine. This will boost the accuracy of all our Marines, which we will have plenty of. Dormitories is too early for that. Scout Bikes we don't have yet, but that is a good option. Cluster Mines is pretty damn good too, but again, it's for Cluster Bikes. A Chaplain raises morale and inspires loyalty is good, but I don't think we need that yet. Assault Space Marines are pretty damn good too. Tell you what, but I mean, this just pretty much fulfills what these two roles would in terms of combat effectiveness. Because both of these are sort of to make my units a little bit more effective, right? And to add to my military power immediately. Well, this sort of fulfills these two roles immediately. So I think I'm going to go with this, and then when this is complete, probably look towards either something like Assault Space Marines or a Chaplain or something like that. Carrot Grenades we're going to save until we get, until we get targets for them, basically. So, next turn. Oh my god, that is disgusting. Look at that. That's like 4 units of 4 or 5 units of dogs. That is terrible. Right, so all my Marines are under attack, and I might actually even lose a squad of Marines here. Jesus Christ, what the hell is this? Somebody complained that the fauna isn't tough enough. F you, alright? F you and everything you stand for. I hunger for battle. Well, my friend, battle aplenty is what you're gonna get. You might as well pull these guys back, shoot at them, hope to God that this engages the right unit, or sorry, that these 3 engage the right unit or pull back, because these 2 are dead. When do I get my next unit? 4 turns on that. That is terrible. Alright, I think it's time we build an armory. I think we just go straight for the armory because, I mean, this is just ridiculous. We need armored units to get in there and turn the tide a little bit. Because holy hell, I'm about to lose my entire army in like turn 11 or turn 12. The sodding neutral creatures of all things. No, you've engaged the wrong unit. Yep. There you go, you're dead. These guys actually healed. You actually heal on the barbed wires? That is... Don't know where to begin, how terrible that is. Alright, end turn. You attack the Marines. Seriously, you attacked the Marines. I mean, you know, so few bolters, yeah. 2.9. You're dead if I don't pull you back. You need to go back. These guys need to die. Because they're level 3, and then the higher the level they are, the more dangerous they become. Let's queue up another unit of Space Marines. Or Tactical Space Marines. Of course they go for the Marines and just ignore the fortress and pretend it doesn't exist. mean, the Imperial Guards got the right idea. Pull the guardsmen away and let the building take all the punishment because it can take it. And there I was trying to keep my outposts, and you know, as a result, we now find ourselves without units. There's one clusterfuck. Alright. Well, what do we do now? A chaplain? Let me check. I think so. I think that's what we need. That or Assault Space Marines. I'm going to go with Assault Space Marines first. I mean, the chaplain is there to boost existing units. We don't have any units to boost. Right. They don't exist. We have none. I'm just hoping beyond hope that the other AI factions are having the exact same trouble we are having right now. I understand it's a far-fetched thing, but one can hope, right? And in this current situation, it's about the only thing we can do. I love how they have the ability. I mean, they have way too many movement points, in my modest opinion. 5. And that should be nerfed down to 4, because they can move all the way over here in one move. Look at that. They can go all the way around and attack at the same time. There's far too much movement for one simple unit of dogs. A unit of dogs that can kill Adeptus Astartes. Now that is one hell of a hell beast, right? Deploy Tactical Doctrine. Cooldown 10 turns. Cost 75. Oh, that's not as good as I thought it was. And there's a quote from the Codex Astartes. You can read it. You can read it. It's cool, but the ability itself is significantly less cool. I thought it was like a permanent passive, but it's not. That's not very good. Okay. Let's build scout bikes then. Let's build scout bikes, and let's build... like, a generator would be good. Don't get me wrong, a generator would be cool. But I'm thinking this is slightly cooler. That or we acquire another tile. Specifically this one. You know what, we'll acquire this tile and we'll build a thing on it. Thinking of the long term, always thinking of the long term, because long term, that is the better option. Let's see what my allies are doing. Now this is an interesting part of the map. Right, so we have Assault Space Marines unlocked. See if we can't build any. Finish up that unit and then build me one of these. I really like the way the resources are distributed, though, has to be said. Because the way the Astartes work is requisitions are pretty much exclusively for buildings, units, also not for buildings, for units and maintaining units, whereas energy is pretty much exclusively for maintaining buildings, and it's a really cool way of separating those things out and keeping everything neat and organized and tight and awesome. I've played with the Necrons quite a bit, and I've noticed that the Necrons interchange their resources quite a bit, and well, that's not entirely the greatest thing ever, but yeah, that entire area is now off limits. Okay, you will heal until further notice. This isn't costing, does it? No. No, it does not. And you, I would like to go and... I'm going to hate myself for saying this, but explore a little bit. Okay, so you found an outpost. You found an outpost, okay. Ore fields. We need ore. We definitely need ore. I'll tell you what. We'll build a fortress right there. And this is like a river, so we won't build it on the river, I think we'll build it like in the forest there. Maybe. Maybe even on the river. Well, actually, why not on the river? We'll build it on the river, and it'll be relatively close to this one, so they'll, if something comes here, they will be able to help each other out a little bit. Just a little bit. So this tile has been acquired. We now need more acquisitions in order to build actual buildings that we need. So we're going to have to skip the city for now, leave it not producing anything on that slot, and wait for like 45 or 50 requisition in order to get ourselves some... there we go, 20 per turn. In order to get ourselves... What are we getting ourselves? Am I ever going to finish a sentence? It's not a factory, but what is it called? Refectory. Yes, a refectory. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm butchering some of these pronunciations. I really shouldn't, but refectory. It's both, isn't it? There's actually a lot of these, not with this particularly, but there's a lot of terms in 40k in general that you can sort of pronounce either which way because they're never really pronounced, they're written. So there's a lot of those. It's 45, isn't it? Pretty standardized. I like it. You have this sort of standardized feel of nice round, maybe not round, but nice even numbers for everything. With like 45 supplied to build 4 or 5 different types of buildings, because that's how they work. They're all standardized and stuff. Whereas some other things might not be. Case in point, Necrons and the Orcs. I haven't played with the Astra Militarum that much yet. This thing has a decent range, and this thing has a range of 3, so... And they are able to support one another, these two fortresses, and that's... I mean, alone they are very weak, and together they are just very weak together, but still, it helps. It helps a little bit. Here we go. Refectory, right on top of that thing. Notifications. I'm sorry to say that my allies are doing pretty terribly. I mean, I'm not doing much better. I lost all my units at one point, but I've secured 2 fortresses, I've secured a few outposts. Mind you, they have as well, but they've lost all their units and they're under attack. Whereas I've been sort of able to recuperate. They're not doing much better than I am, which is like very, very worrying. Expected this building to do a hell of a lot more damage on that thing. Just saying. Okay, move you up and have you engage the hounds. And if I put you there, you won't be able to engage them. Secure that outpost down there. Let's be a little bit ambitious with everything. Because you secure that, and then you can double back down over here and engage the hounds if they present big problem. So everything is producing, resources are flowing in. All things sort of being equal and everything taken into consideration, we're doing rather well. Now, the fact that you attacked... No, because Phobos is being attacked too. Yeah, at least this thing's able to defend itself like all hell, but it is taking damage. Only 6 armor. Here we go. We have recruited a chaplain. Now, we have our own unit that can move about as quickly as it likes, and that is very, very useful indeed. Now, scout bikes are pretty much exactly what you'd expect them to be. They're bikes made for scouting. They won't do very well in combat, but they have various abilities that allow them to perform scouting roles rather admirably. So, let's see if we can take out this unit. Fortunately, it will live, but we sleep production here. I think we sleep production here for a little bit. I think we don't build anything because one of these bikes is enough to scout quite a large area, and right now I am in... Like, I'm slightly less worried about scouting and slightly more worried about well, pretty much everything else. Order units. What unit? Oh, you! There's the dogs are there. I didn't notice, honestly. I thought they retreated back there somewhere. Okay. There's dogs over there too. We need to start killing some of these because they do retreat and heal and then come back to bite us in the arse. So... Hammer of Wrath, a more devastating attack. To perform more devastating attacks, but yes, melee or range is the question. If it's ranged, that's good, we can use them as a hit and run unit, but if it's melee, Devastator, Space Marines, Fortress Expansion, Land Speeders, Librarian. I think dormitories for now, because we will need to expand the castle, or the fortress. It's not a fortress, I mean this is a fortress too, but hey, the capital city. Great Hall, I believe, yeah? Okay, so we'll need to expand the Great Hall then, fine. But, like, as a general thing, right now we need troops. Those troops will provide pretty much everything that we need at this stage. Large enough amount of troops will make it so that I've secured the area relatively easily. Large amount of troops will make it so that more energy and resources. We're able to push the enemy back. And we're able to expand economically as well. So, I mean, more men is the answer to everything at this point, I feel like. And this is why I really hate these dogs, right? I seriously, seriously hate them. Luckily, if they do something like that, they're pretty damn boned. Because you're attacking me from a grassland into a forest, so you're dead, but you're also annoying as all hell. Now, I don't want to put these guys way too forward. This is good though. Yeah, that's good. Discovered a trader encampment, and this gives us a little bit more influence. But for now, I just feel like we're waiting for more stuff to get requisitioned. Well, let's see how good you are at combat. You have those rather impressive looking bolters on your thing. I took 2.7 though. It's terrible. Terrible. And over here, the fortress is under attack from the middle of nowhere. They just pop in, and then the fortress is now under attack. Like I said, luckily this thing can take a pounding, but still presents itself as a bit of a problem. So we can scout the area. You can grant range damage reduction, Jink. No, you're not attacked from ranged, are you? Or you can boost with 2 extra movement points. Or you can kill the hounds. And that's an option too. I feel like a pretty damn good option. Right, bit of damage on those. Okay, everything considered, I think we're doing rather well. We will need to plop down another fortress down here in order to secure this place and grab resources from it. Oh, if only these two were close together, and I could put one for the price of two. That'd be lovely, but that's rare and few and in between, right? So I think energy-wise we're doing okay for now. We can afford to have another building without building an energy building like a reactor thing, right? Generatorum, yes. Not building a generator. Building that produces heroes as well as generates influence that increases loyalty. We do need an increase in loyalty. Yes, we do. So, tell you what, I think we plop that down here, because what's the alternative? Apothecary. That thing, which is, it's pretty damn good, but we don't need influence that badly. I suppose the alternative is another factory down here. Or not another factory, another refactory down here. Which would be pretty good. But no, I think we need hero units for now. We need heroes. Lots of them, right? Okay, let's end our turn. So far, we've managed to secure the perimeter around the dwarf fortress, established a couple of outposts, which we are defending. How well is the question, but we are defending them. I suppose that's the only thing that matters. So, all things sort of accounted for and taken into consideration, I think that we've done pretty well. Research is a bit of a sore spot, I think, though. Let's see, land speeders. They're not great, but they're not bad either. The librarian gets finished in 6 turns. When do we finish this thing? 6 turns as well. I think, though, we start with something like a chapter master hero to begin with, so I think we're going to build him rather than this librarian. Company chapel increases loyalty. I think loyalty is especially important for the Adeptus Astartes, because our loyalty sort of we have only one city, right? We're only ever going to have one city, and loyalty does not influence. Like, there isn't a separate loyalty counter for these outposts over here, and because we have only one city, I think that needs to go up quite a bit. But tell you what, we're going to retreat behind the fortress over here, and I'm going to have you heal until further notice. This thing will fire on the dog at a distance. We're going to wipe those out, and I'm going to move you to there and have you engage. Level 3 hounds over there. Unfortunately, none of my units have leveled up yet, which is slight issue because well, having them level up is kind of awesome. Then they can do stuff. Do I want to build another one of these? I don't think so. I think I want to build another unit of tactical marines. Or maybe assault marines, who knows? Right, well, we'll see, right? We'll see when the unit of assault marines gets built, but until then... hounds captured. Ah, that's unfortunate. Is this thing in any danger of being destroyed? Not really. Not really. Okay, now it is. Now it is, because they brought another 3 units into the fight. Okay. Ooh, assault marines are awesome. Okay, we're building another unit of assault marines. Oh yeah, if I'm reading this right, you're able to kill those things in 1 attack, right? Mind you, you're going to be able to wipe them out in 1 attack too, but that's... Yeah, assault marines are actually really, really awesome. Okay. So we're having you heal up and we're having you heal up. The city needs to do something. No, it doesn't. Sleep production. Sleep production until we can find some sort of tanks for you to build and something like that. That will be very, very awesome. Retreating, are we? Oh, there is no running away from the Astartes. Have they not heard? Do they not know? We're gonna use this to jump from here to over there, jumping the wireweed. But I would like you, along with the other unit of Astartes and the bikes, to secure these 2 outposts for me. Because then we'll have some room to breathe, both economically and with territory. Assault Marines attacked for... No, Assault Marines attacked. Assault Marines are the ones that attack. We are the ones that attack. Okay. And these things healed for 4. I actually managed to murder you? No, but the fortress will be able to finish you off. The question is, though, do we finish you off with the fortress? Because XP management is important as well. But tell you what, we're going to answer that question next time, because it's been a while. And I think it's quite enough for this video. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed, and want to stay tuned with the rest of the series. Until next time, have fun, take care, and remember, the Emperor protects.